am out in this construction pit today to show you the most awesome cheap drone on the market. And then I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't buy it. Yeah. All right, so I finally got this freaking drone updated. And as far as I'm concerned, a lot of you guys, this would be a deal killer. You know, I've got you know, tech savvy and understand all the things you got to do to put things on a phone that you can't download from the Play Store, or in some cases the Apple, what is it, iStore, Apple Store, whatever. The stuff that you can't just download. Maybe they got it on the iStore, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I would say that's probably a deal killer. If you can't get the thing flying, and you know, just the basic stuff, takeoff and landing, if you can't do that. Anyway, so I'm going to run you through. This is an old case that I had from my previous one, and it's not even a drone case, but I love it. I got it with the DJI, the thing that I'm filming with now, my Osmo Action. But I kind of cut it up and adapted it a little bit so I could fit all my drone kit in here, and charging cables and extra supplies. So it's awesome. If you want one of these, you're gonna have to get one on your own. Those kits are not a bad deal. Some of the kits that I've seen with this thing, and this is the Mini SE, which is the older version, but it's an updated part of the older version. So the Mini is the one I had before. The Mini SE is an updated version, but it's $300. The Mini that I bought a couple years back was $400. So I bought the Mini SE, which is updated. I think it's more stable in the wind, which it's windy today. So you know, we're gonna test that out. What else do I need to tell you? Oh yeah, the kits. You can get a kit for maybe a little over $400 with the drone and everything. So you get all this extra stuff. You get all the rotors, and you're gonna break rotors. You know, if you fly anywhere near trees or stuff, you know, it's probably the first thing you're gonna break. You know, hopefully you don't break a lot of stuff like I did, like the arms and such. But let me walk you through the starting procedure, and we'll talk a little bit more about the drone. And this is just for the Mini. It's probably gonna translate over to a lot of the other drones. And this is the base model drone. Well, not the SE, but the base model is the Mini. Standard Mini is typically about $400. This is the older model. The new one is the Mini 2. I think it's about $400 now. And I think the biggest difference there is it shoots in 4K. I don't shoot much at all in 4K, so it doesn't matter, but it may be a big deal to you. So, you know, if it's worth an extra $100 to get you the 4K. This one has 2.7. Almost everything I shoot is 1080p. I probably need to make a video on that in particular. But let's go ahead and set this thing up so you can kind of get an idea. And then I'm going to try to talk you out of buying a drone. It's coming, man. I love this drone. As many times as I've crashed it, it's been pretty dependable. Well, my other one. But I'm going to talk more in detail. But let's go ahead and set this thing up. First, you take this is what I do. I take the gimbal guard off. This thing's pretty fragile, so you got to be pretty careful with it. That's the first thing I do after I turn the drone off. I always put my cover back on. Then the next step, you can't fold these other legs out without moving the top legs out. Arms, legs. These are arms and legs, really. And then you flip the other ones out. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool design. It allows you to put a drone on your motorcycle. The old drones were massive. The first DJI drone that came out was awesome, but it was huge. It was this big. And you couldn't fold the legs in, and you know, it was ridiculous to try to think of taking that on a bike. Then they came out with the Mavic, first version of Mavic, and it was probably half the size, and you had folding wings, but it was still pretty massive. Now the new Mavics are, you know, almost just a little bit bigger than this. They've got the Spark and the Air and the Mavic Pro, and they're all, you know, within this range here. But anyway, so that's the first step. And before I turn anything on, I like to get my phone hooked up, because that's how you're going to navigate I don't believe you can fly this thing without a phone, just because the FAA regulations, and this is one of the few drones, I think it may be one of the few decent drones, maybe the only decent drone on the market that you can fly without registering with the FAA. And I don't like registering with government agencies, and this is how I register with the FAA. So it's 249 grams, which means it's just under the 250 gram limit, which means you don't have to register. So that's pretty cool. So first, I'm going to turn my drone on, and you hit the button, lights will come on, and then you hit it again and hold it until it does that. And now you know it's on. A lot of times when I first did it, I would just hold the button and it wouldn't do anything. So you got to push the button, then push it again and hold it till it comes on. Lights are flashing. Same thing with your controller. Hit it, hold it. And then in theory, I think I've got mine set up to always pull up the app. But obviously it's not going to do that now, so I'm going to pull up my app on my own. And then I'm going to get all this other crap out of the way so I can take off. And hopefully it's not going to ask us to update again. My God, that was such a pain in the butt. It should be giving me a flying thing, but it's wanting me to do the guide again. I just want to go get my camera. All right. So RC is not connected. Yeah, we don't have any connection to anything here. So basically what you're doing is you're, oh, that's what I don't have a good connection here. Maybe. I hope that's what's going on. RC not, there we go. All right, so we didn't have a good connection there. So yeah, and it looks like satellites are connected now. So you're gonna look for this thing. If it's red, it's not gonna fly. Now it's saying takeoff permitted. You got a little bit of map down here to kind of give you an orientation of where you are, and then you've got this is what the drone sees. So if I took this thing over here and said, hey, look, I'm out in a construction pit. They're building out here, but we're going to fly around here really quickly. What I always like to do, I always tell people, record every flight. Because you never know what you're going to see, and it's not like you're using tape. You're using battery already, so sport mode, Cine Mode. Let's do Cine Mode. I really like Cine Mode. It's much smoother inputs. Sport mode is the quickest way to crash your drone. So I'm in Cine Mode, which is real light, easy, slow movements, and it's a lot more cinematic. I try to use Cine Mode when I most of the time when I can. And what I tell everybody, what I was trying to say earlier, well, let's see. Video. Full HD. It's been a while since I changed the settings here. So I'm shooting in 1080p. And I'm going to hit record, then I'm going to take off. So hit record. That way you record your whole flight. Then you're going to reach over here to this little button and say, hey, I'm ready to take off. Hit that, and it's going to bring up this other window. And you're going to push and hold until the green circle goes all the way around. I'll see if I can show you how that works. Now, when you release it, it's going to take off, and it's just going to hover. And I would recommend that you always hover a place where you're not going to crash, because wind can blow it. The GPS signal will get confused. The closer you are to buildings and trees and stuff like that, the more this drone has trouble, and it's really quiet. This is so much quieter than my last drone, probably because it has new blades and the motors are not full of dirt and dust and all that crap. So yeah. So we're just going to do a test flight right now. As you can see, this is the crap that I have to wear on my head to be able to talk in the wind and use both of my hands. And this is the crap that I go through for you guys. This is what I have to do for you. So you're welcome. So what I would say, we're in Cine Mode, which means we're going to get a very cinematic response to inputs on the controls. This joystick here does turns left and right. So if I want to turn right, I want to turn this way. I want to push it that way. So a lot of people get in trouble because they think I'm looking at the drone and I want to turn it that way, so I'm going to push left, but that's actually right. So if you try to concentrate more on this, you know, keep your drone in sight. I would highly recommend that, but also kind of fly with like you're inside the drone, like you're a pilot, and you'll keep from getting in trouble a little bit more. And you can see this thing. Let's go forward and I'll show you how slow Cine Mode is. It's really slow and it'll keep you out of trouble. So I would recommend, if you're a new pilot, that's how you fly, is Cine Mode. Highly recommend it, because even full throttle, and I'll show you here. We're gonna switch modes here. So I'm gonna full throttle it back to us. We'll see how long it takes to get back here. And you can see it's just barely tilting backwards, and it's taking a while to get back here. And I'm going to put it in sport mode when we get back here, and we're going to show you the difference. So now I'm switching to sport mode, and this thing's about to haul ass. So now it's in sport mode, and I'm going to push forward on the stick. Boom, it's fast. So yeah, you can see it now. Now I'm going to bring it back, and it comes back really fast too. So yeah, so I would say either Cine Mode. Yeah, I would say Cine Mode for new learning folks, and it makes a better image. So you could do stuff like, you know, slow pans around stuff, like I'm doing a pan here. Like if I wanted to say, I want to bring attention to that that little barrier over there. I want to go in and get a nice close up and start turning in like that. And I want to say, this object here on the ground has been here for years and years. So I want to just kind of creep around and maybe do some little slow turns. It's real easy to do in Cine Mode here. And well, if you're a good pilot, I'm pretty weak. Everybody's really impressed at how good I fly, but they don't know. It's hard. But yeah, so with all that said, $300, if you got $300 to waste, man, this is so much fun, and you get some really good video, and you can go places that you can't normally go. So like if this had a fence around it, you could say, hey, I wonder what's out there behind the fence, and you could go, hey, I think there's a tractor over there. I want to go see that tractor. Looks like it's a big loader. Let's go check out the loader. And you can say, ooh. You could go past the fence. You can go up, because, you know, a lot of people will try to tell you some crap like, hey man, you're flying over my property. That's illegal. No, it's not. You don't own the airspace. There are some restrictions on airspace, and you probably need to know a little bit about it. I would also say, if you think that you want to go snooping around at somebody's house, you know, going up in their, you know, in the spying on the daughter's bedroom, and, you know, don't be surprised somebody comes out and blows your aircraft out of the sky. You know, I think both of those actions are wrong, but you know, got to protect your drone. Now, if somebody's just being a dick and saying, I don't want you flying near my property, you need to leave, you just tell them, you know, hey, look, call the FAA. Tell them I'm flying in the air. You know, tell them what kind of crazy stuff I'm doing. And, you know, maybe, I don't know, I've never really had any problems with people. I know that there's a lot of people that are very uncomfortable with drones. They don't like it. They think it's a spy aircraft. There's all kinds of misconceptions about what drones are. Some people are just irritated by the noise. A lot of people are very private, and all their concerns are privacy, and they think that anybody with a drone is trying to steal their soul or some, I don't know. There's just all kinds of crazy ideas out there, and you probably need to be aware that there are crazy people out there. And, you know, there may be some dude out there you know, I'm on private property right now, so somebody has a right to come out here and say, hey man, you need to leave. But I can fly my damn drone anywhere I want to around here. You know, inside their building, probably not. You know, if they had a house out here, and you know, I was flying around their house, taking pictures around their house, I could see why they would be upset. I have a perfect right to do it. You know, just like taking pictures from the street. If I had a really good zoom lens, I could take pictures of the house from the street. Do you want to do that? I would say no. You don't. I don't think that you should be attempting to do things that make people uncomfortable just because it gives you a thrill. But yeah, let's try out some. I'm gonna try out some modes. Let me see. It's been a while since I've flown. I gotta figure out how to do my. Oh, gotta stop recording. That's what it is. So now I'm gonna do some trick shots, also known as quick shots. I'm gonna do a circle. I'm gonna get a little bit of altitude here, so I don't crash into anything. So I'm gonna do a circle. These are pre-programmed thingies. Pre-programmed things that you just. What you're gonna do is you're gonna point the camera towards what you wanna focus on. I think I got plenty of room here. So now I'm gonna do an automated recording of me behind my truck. And all I'm gonna do, since I've said, hey, this is what I'm trying to do, this is the object that I want to track. Now it's gonna count down. And now I'm getting like a selfie. And it's programmed. I don't have to fly at all. I can do, you know, I can drive down the road really. What would really be cool is if it had follow mode. That's in the more advanced drones. I know that DJI has at least 2 or 3 drones that do that. You know, you're getting up into $800,000 range to do that. And then there's what is it, Skydio? I think Skydio still has the state-of-the-art drone that'll follow you through. It'll follow you through a maze. It's really amazing kind of stuff. I don't think I would do anything with this drone, but I have done short clips on the motorcycle using other techniques. Like I'm gonna do a little bit more further out, so I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, and then I'm gonna go start, and then I'm gonna say this is the guy, and now I'm gonna walk because there's not anything 40 meters out that I'm gonna crash into, so I feel pretty comfortable. And now I'm gonna wait for the countdown, and I'm gonna see which way this thing's going. I think it's going, yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of walk and, you know, be very cinematic about this, and hopefully this is gonna get something kind of interesting. It's really kind of hard to do because it throws the drone off depending on which direction you're going, but it can get you some pretty good shots, and you don't have to pilot it. And I don't want to say they're perfection. Where'd that damn thing go? But it doesn't crash into a tree. It's gone pretty far. Let's see. Yeah, it's returning. Okay, good. So, yeah, I mean, some of them get pretty good shots. There it is right there. Yeah, and that's, you can see it went up, but it went out a good ways too. So you got to make sure your path is clear, which is kind of why I'm out here in this pit, because I had to go far enough to get away from the trees and stuff. But that's it for this lesson. If you guys want more detail, I'll be glad to give more detail, but you gotta kind of tell me what you're missing here. Again, I would say I'm going to talk most people out of buying a drone, just like I would talk most people out of buying something like this, because I think it's just a waste of money. I think most people are going to film it, and then they're going to go, what do I do now? And the answer is, you got to do something with the footage. If you're not going to do something with the footage and you're just watching it on TV, you'll get tired of that real quick. If you're not sharing your footage, if you're not making something out of it, if you're not editing it and uploading it or giving it to somebody else, you're going to get old. It's going to get old shooting video. Let's go ahead and land this thing. It's going to get old shooting video over and over. So you're going to spend $500, $1,000, $1,500, $5,000 for something that sits in your closet. And that's why I would not recommend buying a drone for most people. Now, if you want to have some fun and crash your drone, this is the best drone to do it. This is, as far as I'm concerned, because you've got the potential to make some awesome video, number one. Number two, I just turn the drone off, closing in the legs, closing in the top legs. Don't drop this thing while it's really hard to close up. I'm making it look easy, but it's a whole lot harder than this. So just be careful with it. And then when you put it up, just make sure you got your legs underneath. Otherwise, you're going to bend your rotors, which you're going to have some extras anyway. And now turn this sucker off. And free your phone. Close this sucker up. If you have the wrong kind of kit, you may have to take these things off, put them inside. But I've got the right kind of kit, so... Anyway, so yeah, if you're just dying to fly, this is probably the best one on the market. If you can get past all the technical stuff, the downloading, the, you know, getting the software on your phone, that's probably going to be the biggest problem you have here. All right, that's all I got for now.